It might be tied up 1-1, but we know that we are all winners here, and we are undefeated as these drafts have created some entertainment so far. This series, Dreadnought, we know if you're just tuning in, both these teams have already qualified. They're set in their positions. They don't really have a whole lot to play for. Hiding strategies is one way to look at it. So they're going to have some fun in drafts.
Yeah, they are, and we're going to continue to see that fun here between the squads. But, you know, I don't really have much analysis to give you, Jay. We've gotten quite a few wild picks. The Asmodan didn't work out as good as the last game as maybe Tempo wanted it to, but the Chen, Dansky looked pretty good on that.
Chen, confirmed OP as he's undefeated now. EU, they missed the mark last week. We hit it here in North America. Let's find out what Battleground number 3 is going to be. So we're going to be going to Volskaya, this time picked up by Endemic. Dreadnought, early thoughts on a hero that we haven't seen yet that you think could do well here?
We haven't seen yet, but can do well here.
Haven't seen yet today, at least, that isn't full meta.
Definitely Rexar.
Okay.
Rexar is pretty problematic over control point A. Very wild, but not so wild that it's unheard of to be able to see that kind of played here. I can see that threat, because Misha, with her self-sustain, if you can't find a way around her, it's pretty hard to get up on that point.
Level 7. It's like a power slide every 6 to 7 seconds as long as you're getting those Misha auto attacks in. You've seen the promo. Don't forget, for the first time ever this year, opening week for HGC Finals will be live audience. So you can get those tickets. You don't even have to go to BlizzCon if you don't want to. If you're going to BlizzCon, double down, come to both. We'd love to see you there. It's at the Blizzard Arena in Burbank, so you can find those tickets online. Don't forget to check that out. And this weekend, also the last weekend, if you want to support the teams in other ways, you have the cheer system to use. That ends this weekend, so don't forget to try and get those cheers in. Some of those sprays, they're different every year. And once they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone for good. No access to that of 2017. After this weekend, no more access to 2018. Get it while it's hot, ladies and gentlemen.
We still see those legacy even in death sprays from time to time.
Yeah.
Represented by our players for multiple reasons to have some fun with. Rexar is, you know, we're just throwing a few names out here. We'll see how these drafts unfold. But Rexar is a hero, you know, I've always mentioned I'm very fond of.
I like Rexar, and a synergy with Rexar that I've always been wanting to see is Unleash the Boars with Salvo. We've talked about that quite a bit. The AoE cone outward with the salvo behind it seems like it's just like a, hey, do you want to fight here? Because quickly the answer is it's not really a realistic option, having that slow enabling it.
But you could also go Misha's angry, and then Misha does all the damage.
Oh yeah, Bestial Wrath.
That is easily the best. Medivh, 3 games in a row. 3 more games than we've had all of Phase 2.
Taronda and Whitemane.
Full support time.
Let's go. All right, so how many specialists that don't do any damage can we see on Tempo Storm side, and then how many supports stacked on Endemic? That's where we're going, right? All one role. If you had to only pick a composition of only one role, what role do you pick and why?
Oh, probably support for sure. For a lot of reasons, mostly that they can heal.
Yeah.
But there's enough supports with playmaking potential now. Garrosh, Ana. So maybe June will get his second chance at Ana here.
I know Tempo's been willing to role swap a little bit here today, but I can't help but feel like there's no way Ana gets chosen in this type of situation and June does not get his hands on that. Okay, let's, like, some kind of Endemic. It's like they don't like fun. You know, they're the fun police at this point. What is that? A Cho'Gall ban? Hello?
I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset.
We're gonna, my goodness.
The one thing, you know, leftovers at Western Clash, they won my hearts, as I'm sure a lot of those members did earlier this year as well. But Mopsio comes up to me before they go into the lower bracket finals against Team Freedom. And we had discussed some stuff at breakfast. I still remember this. He comes up to me, he's like, we're running Cho'Gall. Like, or I said, guaranteed. He said, guaranteed. We've already talked about it. We're running. We're having fun. We're doing what we do. They go into Tomb of the Spider Queen, game number 1. And there's this reaction of Lutano because they had the player cam on there while we're doing the draft. And there was like this really weird draft as we're going to get a Zarya Bala. They're all in on that.
I'm so excited for the Zarya. Anyways, keep going.
Probius.
Okay, this is wild.
And I remember Lutano's like, what? And then the Cho'Gall comes out. And Cho'Gall against the Malfurion, who had just lost his ice block at 13. Collusion, I love you. I think you're fantastic. But that Cho'Gall, Very effective against the no ice block Malfurion.
Did they even decide to hold up here? We get a double mage? Triple mage.
We're going no tomorrow status. Probius Nazeebo on Volskaya. We've seen this before.
It's a doozy here. What is the last sieging AoE cross-supporting hyper carry Endemic can put in their comp?
Lieutenant Morales.
Is it a Greymane? Is it a Zagara? This is awesome! Oh my goodness! Endemic! I love this composition coming out from them. This has so much AoE not AoE pressure, map pressure, macro pressure on multiple angles. Zagara is not the beast she used to be by any means, and when I say that, that's pretty much pre-HGC establishment, so I'm talking way, way back. But she very much is not that.
Zagara got some buffs some months ago, and they're like, whoa, hold on, scaling these buffs are too strong. They dialed it back. I said, you know what, even as a Zagara main myself, I realized Zagara was too strong. Then they dialed it back some more, and now Nidus is on a 2-minute cooldown, and I'm forever sad.
Yeah, Nidus is... I don't know what to say about Nidus, actually. Whoa. I like Ma. I've always loved Ma, but Ma used to be a like 600 damage burst, and now it's like you're tickling them there while they're stuck in that giant
It's still
worm.
one of the coolest animations we got in the game.
It is. It is really, really dope.
Well, we mentioned some battle momentum style talents creep once you pick Nidus. You do get the battle momentum off your auto attacks. That was also slightly nerfed in terms of the cooldown reduction. We'll see.
But the biggest thing here is feeling the heat. We're gonna feel the heat, and if we don't see a feel the heat, I think
it's gonna be Q.
I'm going to cry.
It's grenade
so
build.
much.
I can feel it.
There is no way they do not go feel the heat on Zarya.
I know, but like poke with Zarya.
Jay, how?
I told you.
I'm done.
I could feel it. I could sense it. Call it my Nazeebo senses. My Zagara senses. Zagara is close enough to a spider. I'll say it's my Spidey senses. I'm sure that's never been used before.
Ask me who I'm rooting for this game. Because the answer is tempo, purely on that talent choice.
Ooh, see, I'm with Endemic. I would have loved to see me some Infest, but you can never really go wrong with the extra Baneling damage. But I love me some Infest.
Yeah, I love Infest as well.
I think I told you a long time ago, like one of my favorite things to do was going Infest. Oh, poor Udall. Michael Udall has played some Zagara in the past, too.
Ever seen a bug get squashed?
They just buy in time first. Oh my goodness, the jukes. The jukes.
The biceps.
But they bought time mid. A hero kill at that stage of the game, I think just over 300 XP, 1 tower, 250. So you didn't lose out too much, plus the experience by way of minions.
Have you ever thought about how much siege damage would have happened if you had to deal with heat? I'm just saying that whole front wall is dead. For anybody who doesn't know with Field of Heat, you can actually hit 3 structures at one time with the value out of Field of Heat, while the 4th is actually getting hit by the max range out of your auto attack. It's a pretty neat synergy there that I like out of the talent. Look at that flip combo. Who's stuck in with who is the real question there.
B-Kid has double support and he's fully loaded. Even if you don't go Field of Heat, those autos hurt with high energy.
And now, back to the lanes. Probius versus Zagara is not a matchup I've ever seen.
Nobody really wins that, Dread. Zagara's just trying to press W on Probius, and that's
Probius
pretty much
is just
it.
throwing the particle out in the ground, just like, all right, here's the explosion. All right, the mini wave's dead. All right, we're good.
That's literally the only thing you can do. It's almost impossible. Like, if Probius plays back, Warp Rip damage is insane for wave clear.
But Zag isn't. She's one of the few heroes that really doesn't mind that, right? It's not like she has so much pressure against her that she can't handle it, especially as I'm expecting to move a little bit more into the Banelings as this game moves on. Get the Medusa Blade there at level 4. That is absolutely going to help out.
Battle is lurking. There's a portal waiting to go directly onto that. Oh, nice vault out right before that locks in, and B-Kid picks that up. He'll eat the toads. There's a double-edged sword with that, though, Dreadnought. Yes, you get energy from it, but we have Toad Build from Nazeebo. So every one that you're soaking for energy, you're also giving stacks quicker and quicker for Nazeebo to finish as level 1.
Yeah, and as this game moves on, Nazeebo late game, J-Hal, with full Toad build?
Toad's at 7.
It's some of the highest damage output possible, I think, out of the entirety of heroes.
That's even after the nerf.
Yeah, it's actually insane. So as this game moves on, if that does end up becoming a problem, I think that Nazeebo is going to be very thankful.
Oh, toss back into the Warp Rift.
Oh, that feeling when, even with amazing, cool synergy, as Mike Udall dropping those B-steps, I feel like that was a moment where I look at that and I go, that might be why Probius is out of the meta. You get flipped into you hit him with all your damage output there, still not enough to threaten a Zagara.
Zagara with those spread autos can make quicker rotations to clear and force a response in other lanes. Neither team playing very meta when it comes to the macro because those camps up at the top, I don't think I saw anybody even glimpse at them.
Oh, Vault interrupted. Combo not going to land there. J-Hal, this is a concern.
Not getting kills?
Well, it's mainly if Tempo wants to rely on the zombie wall combo, Vala can't be the target because Cure, again, is getting out with this Vault. They have to zombie wall before they get the flip onto the target. Otherwise, Vault, one of the faster animations when it comes to escapes, especially on ranged assassins.
Early control here for Endemic. 70+% and counting.
Probius is the only hero in Heroes of the Storm that can have full mana, 60% health and back, and I go, it makes sense. Just purely on how squishy he is, like not taking any risk. Kira gonna get flipped over. Protector picked up here by Endemic.
Kira keeping those stacks alive to get that hot pursuit, keep that in full value. And then that movement speed, just way too much to lock him down.
Quite a bit of value here onto the front wall. Going to be dropped down. See how much Tempo is able to stop the bleeding here. Probius has an advantage in the off lane until 10 is picked up. Then it gets a little bit more even. Depending on Heroic choice out from the Zagara, something we've talked about before.
If June doesn't win on Ana this game and they fall to 0-2, will he ever get a chance again?
You know, I'd like to think so, but it's a tough question.
Ooh, they just barely get it down, but a nice sleep dart directly out of that. B-Kid, he'll be fine. Stun locks down, nice force of will. Cattle into the fray. Not enough energy for B-Kid to be super impactful.
And Endemic now with a half-level lead. They're going to hit the 10 spike pretty early on here. Yeah, actually, I didn't think about it. They might go Nidus, but let's just say a world where they don't. Do you go, forgive me for not even knowing the official terminology here, not gravitation zone? What is it? You have expulsion zone and whatever Zarya's pulled them together with a mob behind it?
I just assume it's a Gazlo and call it a Gravo bomb.
I mean, pretty much.
Gravity well?
Something here. We're coming up with it here.
You know, it never gets used, so...
Well, we got Nidus, so I don't think we're going to see it. Probably the expulsion zone again.
I mean, the thing is, there's probably, I mean, what, 70 heroes, 20 talent tiers, maybe an average of 4 per, somewhere in the likes of a stun coming in there, Cure trying to survive. He goes in. That's a 2-person stun with that walk sport. Maybe like 1,400 talents in the game.
Graviton Surge. It's the choice.
Graviton Surge.
It's the choice, J-How. We have got ourselves some Graviton Surge. All right, so let's talk about some highs, some lows here. Do we have the Rain of Vengeance picked up?
We have Starfall, we've got Rain of Vengeance, and then even Whitemane getting in on the action with the Divine Reckoning.
Mix that with all the Baneling build-up. That's going to be a lot of Banelings flying your way while you're just stuck there having to deal with those adorable little kamikaze friends.
You're not rooted in the traditional sense.
No. If anything, you're essentially like Brightwing, silence. Because
you can get out through mobility.
Yeah. What are you thinking here? I feel like you've got something brewing.
Well, Garrosh has Indomitable. I'm assuming you just walk away from that?
Yeah, you can. What happens is it's a constant, it's like a reverse ETC. Rather than the pulse out while he mosh pits, it's a reverse pulse backward, inward. And that's why you can kind of gap close around that here. Garrosh should be able to use Indomitable and walk out of that. Ana would not be able to. Nazeebo, not going to share the same fate either. and neither will Probius. So a lot of vulnerable targets there. I think the biggest problem is not hitting it, or excuse me, not getting out of it as much as it's just hitting it, J-Hal. Especially with Into the Fray available for Cattle, he'll just toss whatever squishy out. What up?
That's all we got. That's all we got. I just want to see the Divine Reckoning into that. Nidus Network. Udall will find his way dancing around the battleground whenever is needed. Peek out the Nidus, come down here for defense. Gargantuan use though.
Sleep Dart hit.
He's not making it out of that one.
Yeah.
They're just going to counter push the top lane. Post 13, if he goes heal off of his W, could survive longer, but losing your Nidus at any stage of the game with the changes and the cooldown reduction, it's terrifying.
It is terrifying, and it's a really bad position to be in right now for Endemic because, or excuse me, yeah, for Endemic because they're getting the pressure down here below for Tempo Storm getting the trade up, and even though Tempo is losing more here in the long run, the fact that there are no creep, actually she does have a top Nidus actually, I missed that Nidus originally, so she does have the opportunity to make it to top a little bit faster if she would like to establish something back at home, but it's actually still on cooldown. So
it's always best to put one in base.
Yes.
But it's not normally on your first rotation. It's always tricky because now with the 2-minute cooldown, you have to decide on whether it's worth it, whether it's not. I play a lot of Zagara. I think I told you I picked Devouring Maw about as much as I picked Lambda the Slaughter.
Yeah, which is still so crazy to me because it's your experience in Heroes of the Storm is literally the opposite of mine.
It's just a couple of heroes.
Like when I look at Zag, I'm like, I've Maw maybe 200 games. When it comes to Nidus Network, maybe 5.
That's how it works. As the Protector with this wall already softened up, trying to get some damage onto the keep, but that is a tremendous amount of damage by Tempo Storm to thwart that Protector.
Value of Probius, pretty good at defending. Now Endemic rotate to mid. Gonna be easy clear onto the port. Tempo Storm's got to force a fight while the even talent tiers are still going to be here. So I wonder where they're gonna find a way to make that happen. Are they gonna wait until the Punisher drops again? Or excuse me, the Protector, and then we look for an on a sleep dart? What is it here, Tempo? Because at some point this Probius comp has to fight because it's not winning the macro front, J-Hal, and that's normally why you pick Probius.
Ooh, there we go. The toss, taunt in, the shield was there. And there it is.
Oh, value down!
Oh my goodness. White Mane healing and damage in that. I thought Michael Udall was a goner. The amount of poison damage that was on there, and for it to heal through that is insane.
Graviton Surge, new meta.
Clearly.
Because those Toads were juked by Endemic. Not that set, as you see.
The kid wants that energy. He's 100%.
Yeah, but he takes a losing trade from this point on in this game. Nazebo has not even hit the 16 mark, but Nazebo's a big enough boy at this point that Toads can't be worn for fun anymore, J-Hal.
There is the debate on what he goes with at 16, because there's the ability to get more spell power based on, oh, there's the pylon overcharge that they're looking to fight. There's one back behind the keep that's, yeah.
There's the second that Kira just did laughed at.
Zagara, though, has Nidus in the top lane. This lead, the break point, I'm trying to remember because all the Zagara changes, I think the break point for her abilities to be stronger than they were before is right around the 16 talent tier, maybe 16, 17, 18. But post level 20, make no mistake about it, she's even better. There's a portal, Indomitable will walk out, in comes the taunt. Kira continues to survive. But the spiders, will it be the spiders for the cooldown reduction at 16 for Nazebo, or the soul harvest for the spell power?
I think I'd like me some spell power. Just because with the new spell power changes, I think it's fun to be able to see how that interacts, you know, what value it's able to gain there. And even more so because if you go more spiders, you're just enabling in that time frame where the shield comes out for Zarya to gain maximum value, where it's not always the case when you go for spell power. One thing I am interested in is that we didn't actually get the AoE Force of Will pickup in this game. and into a Graviton Surge. I guess I just thought that was just going to be the standard to make sure to mitigate all the damage done in that time frame, because I think Tempo never expected that many targets to get hit by a Graviton Surge. That's part of the reason that they haven't done that yet. But now after those last 2 fights being pretty heavily in favor of Endemic, I do wonder if they're wishing they had that talent.
I'm just really curious on the ways Zagara approaches this. Michael Udall will be able to defend the top camp, and then he'll have his empowered. The level 16 getting the spawn for the Mutalisk coming out, pushing down a lane for 30 seconds. I think they anticipate that. Michael Udall has to be very careful on stepping out. The Owl should grant some vision, but the Garrosh stayed hidden there. Oh, Michael Udall's oh,
he just finished his back.
He just finished his heart.
So close.
Nazeebo is essentially handcuffed to this top lane. If Udall is the one on the point, if somebody drops back, Udall can heavy push that top lane, which is why we see Nazeebo still mid, could make that rotation top if needed.
He's going to go back. Tempo at some point, I feel like has to commit here. Their keep.
Man, how do you take a fight walking into the enemy team now? Probius, the probes.
You're right. It's it.
Gosh dang it, J-How.
He's trying to
Why
set
do you
up,
have to point it out, Probius?
He's trying to set up his overcharge, and then he just loses his pylon and his turret there.
I think we need. What if we helped him though? Like, what if Probius's problem is he forgot who he used to be in the Legacy of the Void trailer? Maybe he forgot that he used to be an absolute warrior. That he is the silver lining here of the Protoss race. And maybe if he hears these words, Probius, if you can hear me, maybe he'll be inspired and be able to be as threatening as he once was.
What are the words?
Those words about reminding him that he was the chosen one of the Legacy of the Void trailer. Probius is unlike any other probe we know.
Dreadnought is taking commission for motivational speaker. Feel free to reach out to him on Twitter. Right now, Endemic is reaching out to the core of Tempo Storm. There's the toss, taunt, Cure survives, and he's trying to turn this around. Instead, he's going to go down. Ben, can he make it back to the base? Ice Block will buy time, but he should fall. So 1-for-1 for now.
Graviton Surge comes through. Kata with the into the fray. Lunar Flare not going to connect, but the Sentinel will, setting up the kill there on to Garrosh. Now 4 members alive. Endemic.
Zagara.
Yeah, Zag has the opportunity to spawn a lot of those summons. One of the best damage outputs onto the core heroes in the entire game, especially with that creep there laid down for the battle momentum. Mike Udall getting the shield. Going to keep up that creep, laying it down. There we see the Banshee getting more damage on the core, 60% and falling. And JL, unless they initiate, there is no way that this is going to change the outcome here of this game. Endemic look like they're about to find themselves, falling low here. Squishy for a second there. 25. Looks like
True Shot Aura will help them burst through this. Michael Udall on that Zagara just started to rain down abilities there, and Endemic goes up 2-1. So far, Volskaya, we've seen 2 games in HGC that have had Nazeebo and Probius. Fortunately for those comps, they're now sitting at 0-2. Tempo Storm, no tomorrow, unable to find success with that backline duo.
Nothing against BK, but still feel the heat. Just saying, would have been, obviously they would have won the game half the speed. They won that game, last game, if they had gone Feel the Heat. Can you imagine that core race? Dunzo. I'm sorry, I really like the talent. I kind of meme it, over glorify it. I do really enjoy it, and I personally think it's much like Sundering, very undervalued in the times that it gains ridiculous amount of control, and the offlane siege pressure, which is a lot of the time a reason that you ever pick the Zarya in current meta. Not so much in the last game as it is the Wombo combo initiator, but
we've gotten all these heroes. Yeah. No Rexar.
No Sylv, that's the biggest.
But somehow no Sylvanas. And I really think that people are hiding the Sylv strats for playoffs. That's the only thing I can determine. Okay. Somebody tweeted at me cryptically. They said there's a certain bald European player who's been one-tricking Sylvanas in Hero League lately. And there's only one person I know that's played Sylvanas in the past. And outside of ADRD, and now Mopsio, who shaved his head for stream. all the credit in the world to Mod. I love that guy, but he looks like a different human being now.
Is it Mene?
Yeah, it's got to be Mene.
All right. Well, Mene, I'm ready for the Silv Strats. North America, I'm ready for the Silv Strats. I think this is the time. I'm not going to lie. Out of all the wild strategies, I'm actually extremely sad that Silv is not one of them. I think the minute you tell me I get to do whatever I want, I'm like, how can I break the game with Silv then? Like, can we get really wild with this?
That's all that I do is try and break the game.
Yeah.
All that I do on that hero.